Hi, I'm Amy, and here I'm going to walk you through key features for students. Before I jump into that, let me go over the types of courses that we offer. Notice that we have courses for high schoolers, undergraduates, and graduate medical students, and these are organized by subjects and by systems. And if I scroll down, I'll see several courses designed for board preparation, including MCAT, USMLE, and COMLEX, and other courses designed for medical professionals. For the purposes of this demo, I'll be working in our physiology course. This is the course page for physiology. Let's work from left to right across this toolbar first. When you land on the course page, it will be on subjects. These are the subjects included in the physiology course. We can click on any of these to get a drop-down and see more of what's in that subject. We'll come back to that soon. The next tab across the top is favorites. I don't have any tutorials favorited in my course yet, but if I did, this is where they would show up. You'll see a tab for atlases and directories. Here you can see our abdominal CT atlas, our brain MRI atlas, the muscle nerve directory, and physical exam findings. Our atlases and directories comprise a wonderful repository of photographs and videos to help you further in your studies. The next tab you'll see is references. This includes all of the sources that have been used in this physiology course. Lastly, you may see a tab that says administrative features. This doesn't apply to students, so we'll ignore it. I'm going to go back over and click on subjects. And here again, we see the subjects in the physiology course. One of the first things you'll want to note is your study plan. So we'll come over here and we'll click on the button that says study plan. Right now you can see that it's on all tutorials. This means that all of the tutorials in the physiology course are currently being shown. If you're in a course with a professor leading, then you may have study plans that your professor has created and shared with you. You would see them listed here. In some cases, you'll have so many study plans that there will be a button that says View More, and you'll need to click that to see your professor's plans. In my account, I see some study plans that the Ditki team has already created and shared with me: USMLE, highlights, and core curriculum. Let's click on one of these to see what happens. Notice that now I'm on the USMLE study plan, and the number of tutorials and subjects has changed. Thus, the study plans effectively act as a filter, showing me only the tutorials that are most relevant to the USMLE exam. I'm going to click on this button again that says Study Plan and click All Tutorials so that I can see the full course once more. If I wanted to, I could also create my own study plan. To do so, I would click Create a new study plan and I would go through the steps to create my own plans. You can learn more about this in separate videos and in our FAQ section. Now, let's take a look at a subject. I'm going to go into the cardiovascular subject. When I click the cardiovascular subject, I'll see a drop-down. This presents me with all of the content in the cardiovascular subject in the physiology course. Some things to note here is it will first prompt me to pick up where I've left off. I'm going to ignore that for now. As I scroll down, I'll see different types of content. Tutorials refers to our classic drawing tutorials where we lay out a diagram in stepwise fashion. These are what Ditki is most known for. Other types of content include drawing highlights, and the drawing highlights will hone in on one aspect of the diagram and really focus on one particular area. These are a fun way to really focus in on a topic, and I recommend you give them a try. Other types of content that you may find in the subject dropdown include board review questions. These board questions are new for us, and we're really excited to be able to present them for you. These are your classic long-form board-style questions where we ask you to apply the knowledge that you've learned in our drawing tutorials to case examples. So you would read through the question and choose your answer. I'm just going to pick one at random to show you what happens. So here, I'm shown the correct answer, and I'm given the answer explanation. And then I'm shown why the other options were incorrect. And in classic Ditki style, the answer explanations are clear and concise and easy to follow. Back to the subject overview. If you are interested, you could click View Key Flashcards, and this will give you a new menu of all of our flashcards that are in this subject. Let's take a look at circulatory shock, for example. Here we can click through different images, we can read through the description, and in many cases, we'll even see other flashcards embedded in the flashcards. You can really learn a lot from these. Also in this subject exam dropdown is a button to go to our high yield exercises. We'll learn more about these in a bit, but they utilize our drawing pad and allow you to draw, label, match, or engage with the content in other ways. Lastly, you can do the subject exam. This is an exam comprised of all of the quiz questions from this subject. So it can be quite lengthy, but you can bet it'll be comprehensive. Now that we're oriented with the subject dropdown, let's go into a tutorial. Let's take a look at the electrocardiogram, a classic in physiology. Here we are at the tutorial overview page for the electrocardiogram. Note that along the top, we have different tabs which we can click to engage with different features for this tutorial. We'll start with videos and notes. Here, we can play the video, and we have all of the traditional video controls. So you can move forward, backwards, you can change playback speed, you can mute the narrator, you can turn captions on and off, and you can change from SD to HD depending on the strength of your internet connection. You can also expand the video to be full screen. On the right-hand side, you'll see our notes for this tutorial. We recommend that you read through the notes and get some idea of the key topics that will be covered in the tutorial. Anywhere you see a term in bold blue, you can click on that and it'll take you to an embedded flashcard. Here, for example, we have a short video showing the cardiac cycle. In other cases, such as electrical conduction, we'll explain some other concept that is related to the tutorial in more detail in case you need to brush up or you're not familiar at all. You can also see the references for this particular tutorial, or you can see the transcript. I'm going to go back to the regular notes. So that's the tutorial overview page. You can watch the video, read the notes, review the relevant flashcards, and get familiar with the key concepts. But say you want to get a little more active. To do so, you'd go into our drawing pad. So up here in that top bar, click drawing pad. And this will load the more interactive features of the site. One of the first things you may want to do when you go to the drawing pad is come down here to the help button and click this small eye. This will show you at a glance all of the labels for the icons to give you an idea of what you can do here. I'm going to dismiss this. Then, let's say you want to draw along with the video. I'm going to click the top icon to pull up the lesson video and push play. As you can see, the tutorial starts to play out just as it did on the tutorial overview page. The difference here is that we can draw along with it. What we recommend is that you let the video play out until there's a chunk of information that you want to draw. Let's pause here. Then, come over here and grab your pencil tools. You can choose between a pencil, pen, or calligraphy tool. I'm going to stick with pencil. We can also change the color of the pen. I'm going to pick a bright orange so that you can see it. And I'm going to make my line quite wide, again, so it's visible to the viewer. Then, what I would do is I would come over here and I would draw along over top the video. You can add text to your diagram, or you can use our pre-made labels by coming over here and clicking on this label drawer button. You can simply drag and drop these in. After you have your chunk of information drawn, play the video forward some more, and draw this next segment. Again, I'll get a pen tool, I'll grab a nice bright color, and I would draw along. By the end of the tutorial, I'd have my full diagram with all of the information I need to know on this topic. I might choose to save my work, in which case I would come over here and click on the Save button. I'll get a message saying that the drawing is saved, and now I know it's there. To clear my work, I will come over here and click on the New Document button. And now my work is gone. Let's dismiss the video and see some other features. Let's go over here to the Canvas templates. Here, we can choose a blank canvas, which is what we've already got pulled up here. This is great for if I want to draw the entire diagram from memory, but some of us find that quite daunting. So Ditki has created Starter Canvas. The Starter Canvas provides key background strokes that then we can add to complete the drawing. So again, we'll grab our pen tool, pick a color, perhaps draw over what's already there, and then add to it. At any time, we can check our work by coming back over here to the left and clicking Final Canvas. You can see how we're doing. I've got a ways to go on this one. Perhaps I want to save that. And then clear the document. Now let's say I wanted to load my work from a previous session. To do so, I would come over here to User Files, click the button, and here you can see my previously saved work. And I can load it here like this. Now, I'm going to clear this document, and I want to show you another way you can get that same starter image, but this time as a drawing PDF. Come up here to the top toolbar under Downloads and click Drawing PDF. This will give you a PDF of that starter canvas that you can print and draw over in real life. You can also download our notes as a PDF from here. Now, let's go back over here to Canvas Templates and pull up the label canvas. This is a great way to review the material in the tutorial without having to do a lot of drawing. So here you can see the final image, but without the labels. From here, I can come over here and push the Lesson Labels button, and I can drag and drop these labels into my diagram. I can also create my own label or make notes, or I can use the text box to make something even longer. I can click Save, and it'll save my labeling image. If you're a student using this as part of a class and your professor has assigned these items to you, clicking Save is a great way to make sure that your work will show up in our analytics. You don't need to download or upload anything, just click Save and your instructor will be able to see your work. Okay, so that pretty much covers the drawing pad. Another thing you might want to do is take a quiz. So come up here in the top toolbar and press the button that says Quiz. Our quizzes are derived directly from the tutorial, and they're meant to be short and focused, so you can get through them quickly and find out where you stand on the information. I'm just going to click through this, and you'll see that in this case, I've guessed correctly, and I've got an answer explanation here along with the final image, and I can see how I'm doing as I go. Just going to keep clicking so that we can see the final screen. After I've answered the last question in the series, I'll see a button that says Submit Quiz. When I click this button, my scores will be saved, and if I'm part of an institution, my scores will be saved so my professor can see them in the analytics. When you hit Submit Quiz, you'll be presented with some options. You can review that same tutorial, you can review the answers that you just gave, or you can retake the quiz. Note that you can take the quiz as many times as you like. Your professor will be able to see how many times you've taken the quiz, what your highest score was, and what your average score was. Next, let's take a look at the exercises. These were mentioned earlier in that subject dropdown. The exercises use the drawing pad in a different way. Let's take a look at one. Here, I'm being asked to describe the events of the cardiac action potential. I can come over here and grab my pen tool. I can make marks on the diagram as needed, or I can use the label drawer and drag and drop these labels. I can make my own, or I can use the text box to make more notes. This works just like the drawing pad. So again, I can hit save and my work will be saved. Or if I want to see the answer, I can click the Show Answer button. You'll also be able to show your work on top of the answer screen, or if you click Learn More, you'll be taken to the flashcard to learn more about this topic. Note that the exercises can be derived from the tutorial itself, or they can bring in related ideas. You may be asked to draw, label, match, or interact in other ways. Lastly, let's look at the board highlights. The board highlights are exercises that have been assigned to specific board exams. So for example, when I hit the PANCE exam, I'll see exercises that have been deemed pertinent to my exam. These are a nice way, again, to get interactive with the content while preparing for your boards. Let's return to the course page. Before we conclude, I want to make sure that you can find other information that you need. So let's scroll down to the footer and click FAQ Individual Account. The FAQ for individuals will walk you through many of the features that we've seen today, as well as troubleshoot through some other issues. If at any time you can't find the answer you're looking for here, we encourage you to email us. Scroll down to the footer and under the Contact Us form, You'll see a button that says General Inquiries, or you can use the Billing and Technical Support. Either one is fine. You'll fill out the form, giving us as much detail as you can regarding where the issue was, what subject you were looking at, what tutorial you were looking at, etc., and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. This concludes our demo on student features. Thank you.